Hello, welcome to Kcura. My name is Mike Cash and I'm on the IT applications team. I support some of our Atlassian applications here at Kcura. Today, I will be covering Confluence, Atlassian's collaboration tool. We here have branded our instance of Confluence as Einstein, so moving forward, I will refer to the application as Einstein. If you have worked with any of the Atlassian applications before, you may already have some familiarity with Einstein, and that's great. Not everyone has, so today I will be covering some of the basics such as site navigation and terminology you'll encounter in the application. I will also go over how the company uses the application, some value or ways you can utilize the tool, and some other odd tips and tricks. Einstein is a powerful tool, and as such, there's a lot to cover. So in this session, I will not be going into great depth about some of the more intermediate or advanced functionality, such as some of the integration abilities of Einstein, or how to combine macros to leverage additional functionality. If you have an interest in learning more about these abilities, or have any questions at all, feel free to reach out for support. I'd be happy to help. Just send an email to itsupport@kcura.com and we can set something up. With that out of the way, let's get started. So what is Einstein exactly? Like I said before, Einstein is a collaboration tool developed by Atlassian so they could have one source of truth for all of the different pieces of work they had going. While most of Atlassian's tools are geared more towards software development, Einstein can easily be leveraged by the rest of our organization as well. For example's sake, let's say you are working on a project that requires you to either work with multiple teams or maybe multiple team members within your own team. While working on this project, you'll need to share details of the project, such as project specifications, design ideas, or maybe even strategic initiatives. Traditional email chains are proven to get out of sync rather quickly by either leaving people out of messages, or perhaps the message gets lost amongst all of the other daily emails you receive. Einstein is a great way to solve this problem. Simply set up a space or a page and collaborate by editing content, posting attachments or comments, or getting notifications for updates and changes. Now that we have an idea of what Einstein is, let's get into it and start looking around. There's two ways to access Einstein, via HTTPS or via Okta. Simply, simply enter in einstein.kcura.com as we see here, or go into Okta and click on the chiclet here. Either method will bring you straight into Einstein. As you can see, Einstein's homepage has a lot of content on it. Just like most applications, we see a toolbar at the top, and then working from left to right, we see a menu button, a home button, then tabs for people, resources, projects, and teams. Continuing down the bar, we then see a second menu button, a search bar, as well as a help icon. The gear here is just for administration personnel, so you guys likely won't see this. You'll see a notification tray as well as some personal options as well. Getting into these buttons, the first button here over at the left, this is going to be predefined options based on your Workday roles. So depending on what role you have in Workday, this is going to be the content that you then see. Working to the right, we then see Home. This one's straightforward. It's going to bring you to the landing page of Einstein, which is the home page as well. People, this is going to bring you into Workday, so I click on it and it navigates into Workday. This way you can then start searching for different members throughout the company directory. Resources, this tab here is some predefined content that we think is relevant to anyone in the company, such as maybe IT support, the employee handbook, or maybe some content about our offices, as well as project and teams. If we click on this tab, what it's going to do is it's going to bring us to a navigation page that we can then either search for different spaces based on the category that you would want to search on. So it's defaulting to teams here, but if we click on this drop down, we're going to see some other options such as maybe resources or project, or maybe it's a specific meeting and you can search for it that way as well. Continuing down the bar, the second menu option is going to be some quick navigation links, maybe some team calendars or your favorite content. Continuing down, we have the search bar. If you click on the search bar as you start to work throughout Einstein, as you'll notice when I click on the search bar here, it's going to pull up any of those recently viewed pages. The search bar is pretty straightforward, but one thing to take into account is Einstein's going to try and be smart, or think it's smart, by dynamically trying to search for whatever it is that you're typing in. So if I'm looking for the K-Disco space, what we see here is I start to type in, we get this orange bar that defines, hey, this is the search option that I've selected for you. So if I was to hit enter at this point, it's going to go into that first option. Just a little nuance to be aware of. If you're looking for more of a Google type search, coming down to the bottom of the drop down and clicking on that search for whatever item it is that you're looking for, this will bring you to a page that's more of that Google style search where you get the different search tools to the left, as well as the ability to scroll through all of those results that came back. The help button over here, if we click on it, is just going to give you some quick link access to different help items, whether it's online help, if you're looking for some keyboard shortcuts. Einstein is a WYSIWYG editor, so it does support wiki markup, does not support wiki markdown, but then some other stuff maybe pertaining to Einstein in general. Like I said, the skier here, that's for administration, so you guys won't see that. The notifications, we do have a integration with Jira, one of the other Atlassian applications, so I will get some notifications anytime one is relevant in either Einstein or Jira. You can also set up email notifications off of this as well, and then some of your personal options are over here as well. All right, we're going to hop back to the home page here. And working down from the toolbar, we do see a set of buttons. Don't get too focused on these just yet. I'm going to revisit these in just a moment. But working down on the page, first we see the top story. So HR Communications utilizes this home page as the company's intranet. So any of the most recent communications that have gone out, whether it's a megaphone or maybe it's a blog post or whatever have you, it's going to be posted here on this home page. So we see the top story at the top. Makes sense. It's the most relevant or maybe needs the most highlighting depending on the content. Moving down, we see what's going on. And what's going on is going to have a image slider, so it's a lot of the more recent content that's happening. Very straightforward. You can simply switch back and forth depending on the slide that you'd like to see. Continuing to work down, we then see a calendar. This is one of the more commonly used features in Einstein. Gives you the ability to dynamically view and look at different items. If we only wanted to see group events, we could click on it and then only see that. If we just want to see company holidays, because we've got USA's Independence Day coming up, we could see that as well. Working back up to the top of the page, down the right side, we then see my favorites. Einstein tries to be smart, and anything that you frequently visit may come up here on my favorites, or you have the ability to come in and select a specific page or space, and you can favorite that as well. Typically, we'll see a poll running through this section here. We've already had the conclusion of that poll, and that was around the KJAM, so we're just looking to solidify some of the answers, get that official RSVP in, and then some of the recent employee news. So Stephanie Neville, as you see, spearheads the HR communications page here on the home page. So a lot of her blog posts, whether it's a digest or, like I said, a megaphone, this is going to be where all of the recent content exists. Great. Now that we've covered the home page, I'm going to dive into one of the pages that I've been working on actually and show you guys some little odd tips and tricks. So I'm going to use the search up here. So this page here is an administrative space that I've set up along with the IT applications team in conjunction with the EPM team, which is the enterprise project management team. As the company continues to move towards the support and implementation of Atlassian products, I figured there would be a good resource needed for anyone who doesn't necessarily want to reach out, maybe just wants to look for some more self-service type material. So that's what I'm working on creating here. What I'm trying to show you guys is that there's different abilities throughout Einstein. So if I hop in here and I click edit, we're going to see a different style of page. This is going to be that WYSIWYG editor that I alluded to a little bit earlier, and we can see that there's some macros in use over here. That's a search one, as well as the ability to show any of those children pages. So it's a really neat way to take some uh, content and kind of style it up and give it some flavor as well. As I had mentioned before, Einstein is really great for collaborating on different projects or different initiatives. Here my initiative is creating this support space for anyone in the company to self-service to the information. And while I'm working on it, I may need help from, say, someone on the EPM team to proofread and make sure that this is good content by simply going into the page that maybe I want to reach out to my coworker here on the IT apps team. Just like any of the social medias, you can use an @mention and simply typing in their name. Say, hey Ryan, can you look at this page and provide feedback? Thanks. By me clicking save, what's going to happen is Ryan is going to get a notification up here in his tray, as well as an email that says, hey, Mike has mentioned you on this page. It's going to give him that comment. He's going to be able to dive right in here and start looking through it or whatever have you. If he then made changes, alterations, whatever have you, I would then get a following notification that would show what those changes are. For example, if he was to delete this option here, I would get an email notification that would have this highlighted in red with a strike through, letting me know that that is no longer on the page. Some other great ways to collaborate is utilizing this share option. So you can click on the share option. It's going to give you the different ability to send out the link, whatever means that you're looking to, whether via email or maybe through a social media outlet. It's going to give you that content, that URL, and then you can use that elsewhere. Another neat ability of Einstein is this watch feature. And what watching does is, say you don't want to have to constantly use this @mention. You're working with maybe a team of 10, 15, 20 or more people, and you don't need to be calling out every little change you're doing to specified individuals. What the team can then do is click this watch feature, and then anytime the content changes, whether there's an update, delete, whatever have you, addition, you're going to get a notification the same way that Ryan's going to get a notification as I @mentioned him. It's going to show you what type of content update there was, as well as if anything was added or removed. Now that I've highlighted some of the different collaboration pieces, and it's just scratching the surface, like I said initially when the recording started, if you have any questions and you want to dive in further, feel free to reach out. This is just a light overview of how to use and navigate the product. But what I wanted to show you guys or have you do is maybe a takeaway is a little bit of homework is up in the top here, your icon, there's going to be an option for personal space. Now, if this is the first time you're logging into Einstein, you're going to see this option that's highlighted there as create personal space. And what you guys can really utilize that for is like a sandbox type environment. Nobody can see your personal space except for you unless you open it up via permissions or any of the admins here. But like I said, the ability to go in and utilize this as a sandbox is very powerful. You can copy pages over, click edit, go in, take a look at how they're being formulated, especially if you see something, maybe a team is utilizing a calendar or a checklist, or maybe there's a flow chart on there that you want to see how they're doing that. You can simply come over to the tools here, click over copy. If the person is, if the owner, the space owner or the page owner is allowing it, you can then copy that content over and reverse engineer it like I said. But what I wanted to have you guys do is create that personal space as that bit of homework, so then you can leverage that sandbox type ability. At any point, if you guys want to create a space of your own or maybe some pages of your own, you can either reach out or you'll see a create option up here, and this will give you the ability to create a space and start getting some content in there and utilizing the system. As I said before, I'll say it once more, if you guys have any questions at all or need help with anything along the way, please feel free to reach out to IT support. We'd be happy to help you guys out. That's all we're going to cover today, but let us know if you have any other questions. Thanks so much for your time.